Do you know what it is that you really want out of life? Have you actually taken the time to sit down and identify your goals, maybe do a brain dump and get everything out on paper?
Here's your story, let's begin. The water's fine, come on, dive in. The future's here, it's right before your eyes.
Hi everybody, I'm Jackie and welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to talk about two different exercises that you can do to help you identify what your goals are and discover what it is that you truly want your life to be like. This is not a goal setting or how to achieve your goals video. I'll actually be doing that in a separate video, but today it's about getting everything out of your head, almost like a brain dump, and just seeing what do you really want. If you want to join me, grab a pad of paper and a pen or pencil. I highly recommend doing this along with me. You can pause the video and do it, or you can save the video in your favorites or a playlist to come back to later on. But basically, these are two different exercises that I have done, and they're from some people you may or may not have heard of. The first one is from Bill Harris, and this exercise I actually did several years ago, and it helped me discover back when I had decided I wanted to be an entrepreneur, and I actually had opened and ran my own dance studio for 3 years. So his technique had helped me discover that goal and to set that goal and achieve that goal. As well, my husband and I have used his exercise to start setting goals as a family. And that's how we kind of came up with last year when we went on the road for about 6 months. And again, this whole process is what helped us get there. The second person, his little exercise I'm going to share with you is Jim Rohn, and this is one that I just recently went ahead and did, so it kind of gives you a different perspective. I do recommend that you do one of these types of exercises at least once a year, just to kind of see what you've accomplished, what is still relevant. Some things may not be relevant anymore, you might have bigger and better goals and things like that. So let's jump into the first one. And so with Bill Harris's technique or exercise, you're going to want to have about at least three different pieces of paper, and you're going to have them put down as everything you want to have, everything you want to do, and everything you want to be. And so what you're going to do is you're going to set up your space. You're going to be a nice quiet place, or maybe have some inspirational music that you like, something like that in the background, but basically where you can focus. And it's going to take you at least 30 minutes. You want to give yourself 30 minutes to an hour to complete either one of these exercises. You can do this by yourself, or you can do it with your spouse, or you can do it with your children if they're old enough and they're able to write out their goals and everything. You're going to set your timer for 10 minutes, and you're gonna just write like crazy on everything you want to have. It's a little easier to come up with things that we want to have, so we'll start with that one. So you just want to write everything you want to have. Do you want to have a boat? Do you want to have a house? Do you want to have nice clothes? All that stuff. Just write it down. So the second one, again, you're gonna set your timer for 10 minutes, and you're gonna write like crazy everything you want to do. Where do you want to travel? What type of activities do you want to do? If you're having a hard time figuring that out, you can just think about, when do you have a lot of fun? What do you like doing with your friends or your family? What type of activities do you like doing? What would you like to do more of? Don't put any limitations on anything that you're writing down. Don't put time restraints, money restraints, age restraints, physical restraints. Don't put any restraints on it. Just everything that you could possibly think of, everything that you want to have, do. Third one, set your timer for 10 minutes. It's everything you want to be. Now this doesn't have to be necessarily just career-wise, but it could be what type of person do you want to be. So you might say, I want to be a yoga instructor, I want to be an entrepreneur, I want to be a doctor, or you might say, I want to have confident, I want to be a role model. It could be characteristics like that as well. I want to be a good mom, I want to be a good wife, things like that. So once you've gone through and you've taken your 10 minutes on each, so again, this is going to take you about 30 minutes, you're going to add 2 more steps, possibly 3 if you're doing this with your family. And then the next one you're going to do is you're kind of just look at everything and see out of each category, what are some goals that go together. Would be almost like one goal would accomplish several of those things. And then the third step is you're going to list them in order from the easiest or the fastest that you can obtain that goal to the hardest or whatever's going to take you the longest to obtain. This is just discovering what we want out of life and identifying our goals. Next, in a different video, I'll actually go over how to take this, what we've come up with, and turn it into a goal setting and start achieving some of those goals. Now, if you are doing this with your family or with your spouse, you can take it to a fourth step and you can share each of your areas with each other, and you can determine, okay, what are some goals that we both have that we can turn into a team effort. And believe me, once you start working with someone on goals as a team, you get a lot accomplished very quickly. So I encourage you to have some goals, as a family, some goals by yourself, but I think it's a fun thing to do as well. My daughter isn't old enough to write yet, but I have done this exercise with her where I wrote out her goals for her. So that one's from Bill Harris. The second one is from Jim Rohn, like I mentioned. What he wants you to do is try to write out 50 goals that you want to accomplish between now and 10 years from now. And he says to focus on thinking about 3 different areas: your economics, which could be your financial and your career, your material items, and your personal development. So some of those you can see how your material items would be the same thing like Bill Harris, what do you want to have, whereas what do you want to be and do could go into your personal development and your economics. So kind of the same concept, but you're not dividing them up, you're just writing a list of 50 goals and just write them out. I did this one, like I said, recently. I was only able to come up with 30 goals. He also mentions that the first time you do it, you may not have a lot of 10-year goals because you haven't done this enough times to think that far out or to think that big. So what you're going to do, the second step though, is you're going to go through and you're going to list them, whether you think that it's a 1-year goal, a 3-year goal, a 5-year goal, or a 10-year goal. And again, he mentioned that you probably won't have that many 10-year goals. You're going to have probably a lot of 1-year goals, and you're going to realize that, hey, I could actually probably accomplish a lot in 1 year. But this is where you're going to come to step 3, where you're only going to pick the top 3 or 4 1-year goals, and those are going to be the goals that we will, again, focus on our goal setting video. I wanted to mention one third person, Hal Elrod. He wrote the book The Miracle Morning, and he talks about developing your level 10 life. So he mentions having, maybe setting goals in each area of your life. So again, if you have your life divided up between anywhere from 5 to 10 different areas, like personal development, relationships, lifestyle, finances, career, things like that, then you could also do the same thing, but try to you maybe set 10 goals per area, so you're going to have 50 to 100 different goals. This is just kind of like a brain dump. Get it all out there. Don't put any restrictions on it. Just try to figure out, what do you really want, and when do you think you could possibly obtain those goals. And then when you join me next time, I'll teach you how to actually set a good goal so we have a good plan to achieve that goal. So if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Like I mentioned, if you didn't pause the video and do the exercise right now, you can definitely save it to a playlist or your favorites and come back to it at a later date. Join me next time and we will do some actual goal setting, and I'll give you some tips on how to achieve those goals. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.